Hey everybody, my name is Oladimeji Ajegbile and you are listening to The Simple Creative. This is a podcast about turning simple ideas into creative ones. My guest on this episode is Victoria Odesola. She's the author of the book Pills and Shots. And we talked about how to live above the pollution in this world as a youth, leaving a lasting impact on the world, and how powerful words are.
There were some things that I've talked about here that I've not really spoken up about to someone else. Especially, emotional issues, dealing with depression, that kind of thing. Though I didn't really delve so deep into it, but I talked about it a bit. It's not something that I've talked to anyone about, but I was able to write about it. So things that changed in me, it made me more open. Okay. Normally, I wouldn't do this whole interview.
I understand.
So writing kind of made me open a lot more, I feel freer to talk about issues that youths face, it gave me a stronger voice, a louder voice.
If you're new to this podcast and you want to know more about it, kindly subscribe to get weekly content like this. Enjoy the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I think every week I tend to look for people who really have, the right things to actually say to the youth. Mm-hmm. I think I actually advocate for people who are trying to start up something. So it's a good place to start from, where you can always refer to places to get resources that can actually help you grow as a person. And looking at your most recent achievement, I think I'm glad to actually have you on this episode. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
But before we get there, can you just give a comprehensive introduction of yourself?
Okay. My name is Victoria Oladimeji Odesola.
Okay.
So I was born on the 6th of June. Don't worry about the year. I was born in Ibadan.
Ah, nice. I was born in Ibadan too.
Same hometown. So I was born in Ibadan. Then when I was 9 months, I followed my mom to meet my dad, who was on the mission field in the Philippines. So yeah, I grew up in the Philippines, and then I was homeschooled from preschool to secondary school, which is something not many people know about me.
All right.
Then once I got to the university level, I went to the university and I studied Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, but I majored in Human Resource Management.
Okay.
And then after I left the university, I went on for my master's in Foreign Service, specifically majoring in terrorism and security studies. Yes.
You help us in Nigeria, don't worry.
That's what everyone says. I really want to. And then after that, I came back to Nigeria for the 1 year youth service.
No, trust me.
1 year youth service.
That's one big year.
Yeah, very interesting year. And then, after I left NYSC, during NYSC, I got to work with the Lagos state government. Lots of experiences, lots of eye-opening, issues and everything, but it was good. Mm-hmm. Then, right now, I'm a production assistant for the time being, with a film organization.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a writer, I'm a blogger, I like to sing, a youth leader, if you call it that. Yeah, that's basically me.
All right. A lot of people have this idea that you can't be too many things. That once you go to school, whatever you studied, continuing in that line, which I feel is already becoming a problem.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the very popular people in Nigeria today, I don't think they're popular because of what they studied in school. Mm-hmm. Although school gave them I think school gave them the background for whatever, the foundation for whatever it is that has happened. So I think the reason why you probably are on this episode today is because of something that happened recently, which is your book you actually just launched.
Yes.
And okay, just tell us about the book.
Okay.
What's the book about?
Right. So Pills and Shots. Can I show
Yeah, that's the title.
Yeah. Pills and Shots. Pills and Shots, or there's a subtitle to it. There's 50 doses of life for a youth. It has a kind of medical feel. First time I showed someone the title page, it was like, I didn't know you were into medicine. I said, no, it's not medical. It's not like a physically medical book. It's more like spiritual, that kind of thing. Say, oh, okay. So yeah, so it's basically addressing life issues that youths face.
Okay.
That's why I call it Pills and Shots. We have, when you're dealing with sicknesses like maybe malaria or headache, you have pills that you can go to if you want to.
Yeah.
get to, better quickly. But, as youth, spiritually, we have the Bible, of course.
Yeah.
But then, I wanted to write something that you to be able to relate with, like specific issues that we go through, and then the specific word of God that actually talks about that issue and talk about it more in an in-depth, relatable kind of way.
Okay, so what prompted you to actually start writing? I think
writing.
Is this your first book?
Yes, it's my first book.
Published book?
Published book.
All right.
I have tried to start writing a book so many times. I can remember when I was quite young, I wanted to start writing a children's book, and I didn't get so far. I think maybe because school came in and I got overwhelmed, so I had to push that one to the side. To hold on. But before writing, even attempting to write books, I've written poems as well. I used to write for my school newsletters, and then and I've always been pushed and motivated by my parents to write a book. Almost every year they'd be like, write a book. And at first it was like I didn't want to hear it, because to me writing a book seemed so challenging. I'm like, where do I even start? Where do I even start from? Though I love to read. I love to read, and one of the times I was reading a big novel, and I used to think, like, how did this person
sit down to write? I think I have the same
600-page novel. I'm like, what?
I think I explain the same thing every time, because I'm reading 25 Principles of Success currently, and the book is this big, and every time I open it, I'm like, oh god, because I started reading beginning of this year. That was one of my major resolutions, to read 2 books a month.
Wow.
But I ended up reading just one the very first month, and then I just made sure it became a trend. So just one every month, and I've read 5. I'm on the 6th one, but then the 6th one I couldn't finish it throughout the month of June. So it spilled over to this month, and I'll be adding this to this one. So for as many that are watching this, I'm reading this month, so please. But the thing is, when I see the books and the level of information are in just one book, I wonder, there's no other place I could get that kind of knowledge except from a book like this, because someone sat down to write a book for 30 years and now it's in your hands. So you have that experience. You're studying an experience of someone for 30 years. It's amazing. So that was one of the things that actually pushed me to reading books, because I felt, come on, there's so much knowledge in just one, compiled tiny thing, but you feel it's nothing. So I think I really enjoy people who pick out time to do something people feel is impossible.
Right.
Yeah, because if you tell me to write a book, I'm like, come on, don't even try it, because I don't know where to start from.
Oh, well, you start from somewhere. I mean, that's how it is. From one page, it becomes 2, becomes 10. Before you know it, you're surprised at how far you've gotten.
Well, were there like times you just wanted to stop?
Yes. I think there was a period where I just abandoned it. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Really?
I'm not doing this anymore.
So how long did this take you to write?
I started 2016 September, and then I finished writing it, I think mid last year.
Okay.
Mid last year, so that's like 2 years plus.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, what were the major things that really changed in you writing this book?
Right. Changed in me. There were some things that I've talked about here that I've not really spoken up about to someone else. Especially, emotional issues, dealing with depression, that kind of thing. Though I didn't really delve so deep into it, but I talked about it a bit. It's not something that I've talked to anyone about, but I was able to write about it. So things that changed in me, it made me more open. Okay. Normally, I wouldn't do this whole interview.
I understand.
So writing kind of made me open a lot more, like I feel freer to talk about issues that youth face, like it gave me a stronger voice, a louder voice. It also made me to analyze things better. Okay. Because once you start writing about an issue, you find out that
you think more.
Yeah, you think more. You find out that your knowledge is so basic. Like there's a lot more you could research about, and you want to do that research so that it would help someone else. And then you find out that this life is not really about you. Definitely. It's about how you can help others. People. It's about the footprint that you would leave behind when you go.